Hey everybody, this is going to be our first ever episode of
FloraSho.
I'm Garrett Palmer. This is the owner of Wild Iris, otherwise known as Miss Brook, otherwise known as Queen BB Spy. And she's going to be showing you how to make a proper flower arrangement.
Hey, thanks, Garrett. Okay, so right now it's September, what day is it?
17th.
17th.
September 17th.
So we're early fall. So everything is kind of looking early fall, jewel tones. That's what I like. So we're going to make just a small arrangement. It's actually for an order that I have at the shop. So we're just going to go through and make it. And I don't know, I'm just going to walk y'all through it. Hell, I don't know what else to do. Start with, obviously, a vase with water. And I put a little bit of floral food in that. That'll be another episode when we go over like supplies and stuff like that to make these things last longer. And this is my base greenery of choice. It's called variegated pittosporum. I like it because it has arms, so it creates like a grid for you to like get your flowers to stay where you want them to stay. So I start with a few stems of that. And any stems that have leaves on them that might like fall down to your water and make it nasty, you just want to go ahead and take those leaves off because we don't like that. So this is good for this. And keep in mind, I do flower arrangements that are geared up to go out on delivery with delivery drivers that maybe are not the most careful. So I have to make sure that they are greened out and gridded so that they can take maybe a wild ride, you know what I'm saying? So they won't be like flying around, falling around. But if you're just doing this for your house, you're doing it on your countertop, it's just going to sit there. You don't have to have as tight of a grid going. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to do a little DIY, that's fine. So next I'm going to go through with this eucalyptus parvifolia, call it parvo. So I put it in here like this, and I'm going to be trying to do this arrangement turned around like face towards y'all's. Another layer of greenery, but also I like the movement of it. I like the airiness of it, so it kind of doubles as a filler. And I like snap off any leaves that are kind of looking subpar because we don't have that kind of stuff in a Wild Iris arrangement. Just know that.
Ansley
has brought me my hydrangea crack. I'll talk to y'all about that later. Selling on the street. Yes, one of my handsome men here at the flower shop. Okay, so here we are greened out. This is what I would call greened out because we got a pretty good grid going. It looks good and full. So at this point, I take Green Glow. It's a plant shine. It does not hurt the plant. It's a little Green Glow. It doesn't take a lot. And that just shines it up, gets it ready. Okay. All right, so we're done with the parvo. Yeah, I'm gonna set it aside. Okay. Now, the last thing that I do, and sometimes at this point I'll put a few stems of this in, and then maybe at the end I feel like I need one more spot of it, so I'll put it at the end too, because this is kind of a trademark for me. I love to use seeded eucalyptus. Another variety of eucalyptus does have a slight smell, but not a lot right now. So I'm just going to pop off a few little stems of it. These shorter ones that I can't use in this arrangement, I keep for smaller arrangements that I can use it in later. So we don't want things going to waste, not with how expensive things are. Okay, so here I have just a few little pieces to go in, and I'm using utility scissors. That's my tool of choice. A lot of florists use knives. I can use a knife, but rest assured I will cut a finger off doing that kind of stuff. So I don't always like that. Okay, so I'll come through with this seeded eucalyptus here. Just kind of get it down in there. So this really is what I call my greened out base. Okay. Now, from here, I usually start with my lower focal flowers. This one is going to be a hydrangea. This is actually a mini green hydrangea. There are like kiwi lime large hydrangeas. This is a mini green. So I'm gonna start with it. Now, how I treat my hydrangeas, something we call hydrangea crack in here. Hydrangeas are strange and will get air in their stems and then they'll deflate just like a balloon in the middle of your arrangement. If you treat them with this powder, which is alum, it's a crisper. It's more for canning. If you treat them with it, it like triples their life. So it's a good thing to know when working with hydrangeas. So you will cut it on a diagonal and dip it down in this powder. Just make sure, you know, it's absorbing some. And then you're ready to use it. You just stick it in here and that's it. That's it. Okay? And that's all we're going to use that for. Somebody can get this out of my side. Alright. Now's the point where I like to put a little filler in. I kind of like will start with filler and then I will put some in throughout. So this is a pink calcinea. It is a dyed heather, and so it will turn the water pink, and that's fine. We're fine with that. Okay, so we got a little pink calcinea going on. It's a little warm in this room, guys. Somebody stole the copper off my AC units, and it's hot in here today. We're gonna improve that.
Please treat local businesses better.
Yeah, our pharmacy got robbed yesterday. Okay, so here is my pink calcinea. Ta-da! Alright, now, so this is fall jewel tones that I'm doing. I'm gonna go in with a snapdragon, this snapdragon. You want to take all these leaves off the stem so the water doesn't focus on the leaves. It's gonna focus on the blooms and keep them alive longer instead of like having to worry about everybody else. So that's why you see us doing that. Okay. Are there any questions from the audience?
Hi, I'm Lane, and I have a question. So, what makes this arrangement fall? Or what makes this arrangement?
Well, what's going to end up making it fall or jewel tone fall, which is what I lean towards, is we're going to end up with a sunflower in it.
Sunflower.
We're going to end up with, this is a Resorsi Bronze Mum Chrysanthemum, very fall.
I like that flower.
We have these roses. I'm going to think of what they're called in a moment. It's part of the cherry line. Anyway, has a little orange coral tint to it, so it lends to fall colors.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like what we've got going on over here. The whole fall vibe.
Yeah, I get what you're putting down.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for your wonderful questions.
Yes, no problem, Brooke.
Okay. So, now I'm going to go in with my sunflowers. I am going to turn this around some. I can't do this whole thing just like face towards y'all because that's just crazy. But I am going to I'm going to take this and just put my sunflowers in, and then I'm going to turn it back around so y'all can see what I did. So I really want y'all to get the full effect, and later, you know, after, who knows? I'll get one of those cameras that like straps to my head and be like doing arrangements to see what I'm doing. Okay. All right. Now we have this. Okay. This is the point in the arrangement that we're to right now. Kind of looks like two eyes and antenna, but it's going to be okay. So don't worry. So that's all the sunflowers we're going to use in that one. Okay. And I kind of go from, like I say, more so, I'll get a couple of line flowers in, what creates your lines, but then I like to arrange my focal flowers more so before I start. I kind of finish out with what rounds it out. Hear it?
Y'all know me from the start of the video. I'm Garrett Palmer, and I have a very important question. What is a focal flower?
A focal flower, it really can be anything, whatever you're wanting to focus on in the arrangement. But traditionally, when we just like talk about focal flowers to our wholesalers when we're like ordering stuff, it's like what's going to be your central flower that is like kind of your main focus, or creates like your weight in your arrangement, like the face of it. So face and not the arms, not the lines. So a hydrangea is a focal, a sunflower is a focal, lilies are focal flowers. Roses are focal flowers. So Gerber daisies. That's and then like this little hairy stuff, filler flowers. So
it's what you want everybody to look at first.
yeah, that's what your focus is, your base of what pulls like the balance to your arrangement, and you kind of design off of that. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Thank you, Queen BB Spy.
Okay, you're welcome, Garrett. Okay. Same thing with the mums. You're going to take their leaves off. We don't need all that. Okay. Everything I cut on an angle, just so it maximizes the water drinkage for a lasting arrangement. Okay. So here we have some resourcey mums. Okay. Let me get some of this shit off my table. Hold on. Now, and y'all, this is one of my favorite, and the carnation gets a bad rap because it's an old flower, a traditional flower, but there's a lot of good carnations these days. They've gone through a lot of upgrades and breeding, so you don't have your old school, small, uninteresting carnation. And so this is like a novelty antique carnation, one of my very favorite flowers. They last forever. They smell good. So give the carnation a chance. Okay? Alright. So I'm going to put some of that, and they're inexpensive. So let's remember that. Okay? Now. And okay, you'll hear a lot of people say, well, you've got to use odd numbers, or you got to use the 3, 5, 7 method. That's not always true. Like, that's old garden club rules, like when people wanted to tell you how you're about to arrange something. We don't go by that here at Wild Iris. We do what the hell we want. And it looks good, so. Alright. So, I am going to use 3 of these carnations though, just because I love them. And I'm about to turn around and show you where I put them. And a lot of times when I'm putting stems in here, when it starts to get tighter in here, which is what you want because that means your bouquet is holding its shape, you kind of have to you don't want to force things and you start breaking stems, and that's not good. You kind of have to turn a little bit, kind of ease it down in there. Okay? Carnations in the fall bouquet. Now, we're going to finish up with some roses, and I really think we're going to be done with our bouquet. And I'm OCD about this. I have to keep this crap off my table. Sorry. Now, I like to go through roses and take off any shipping petals that might be less than perfect. Always give them a good blowout. Okay? It's kind of like your hair. You want to make sure it's looking right. Okay. And for the price point of this arrangement, I'm just going to use 3 roses. We sell this size arrangement here for $55. It's a good assortment. And it is going right out of here on delivery after I finish it. Okay, so now I've got my 3 roses ready to roll. Okay. And look how that water's turning a little bit pink. I like it. Okay, ready for roses. Again, cutting on your slant. I have the best team from the HHS Publications class, and they have they've done this whole set. They're doing the filming, they will do the editing. You just can't be beat. Led by the fearless Sarah Knight, my friend. Okay. And sometimes when when it's getting to be a lot of flowers in here, you might put something in and a flower might move. Just get your fingers in there. Just kind of get it to where you want it to be. It's nothing to freak out about, you know? Okay. We've got one more flower to go in. And then we're going to be good to go, guys. This is going to be, and sometimes I add a little ribbon in. Sometimes I don't. Not everything requires a bow or a ribbon. But some things do, and some people like that. So, this is going to be a finished mixed vase arrangement, Jewel Tone Fall. Lots of pretty. Okay, and then to finish off what I'm doing, I come through with this hydrator that I make. It's kind of my special mix. We'll talk about that later. And I just give it a good spritz. Helps keep the hydration and the color retention going on these petals. And here you have a finished, fresh arrangement of wild iris. This is Lennon and Deanara.
Okay.
They're gonna really give you some close up.
It's worth seeing. Oh, look at that. It just looks like it's just naturally
Just
out
the
of
morning,
like it
mist,
just got rained
the
on.
morning dew.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, then here's the water.
Look, a little pink.
And now how does it smell test?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed our first ever episode of FloraSho. And of course, let's give a big special thanks to all the people who helped make this set. And of course, the business owner of Wild Iris herself, Miss Queen Bee Spy. Thank y'all so much.
Let me just say, and maybe you can edit this in.
Okay.
None of this happens without a good drink from Sonic. My drink of choice is Diet Coke, extra ice. So just keep that in mind that this helps you get through long days of flower arranging.
Please sponsor us, please.
Just say this. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.